Before I show you how I make a changer for a pedal steel guitar, I would like to demonstrate how it works on this mock-up of a changer mechanism for an all-pull system. It's made of three parts. There's the roller block, the roller bridge, the tuner block and the pull bar. The tension spring holds the pull bar against two neutral stops. The raised tuner comes against a raised stop, which is a flat bar across the front there, and the lower tuner is actually joined to the guitar and stops the actual tuner bar, the tuner block going back too far. It will just adjust it to the right amount that you set it. The rods, they pull, it's just an all pull system, and they lower or raise the string to its required tension. I'll just demonstrate this now with a string. And you see that this actually touches the plate and stops it going any further. And this one is the same for lowering. And it goes to this one here and stops. That's basically how it works. And now we will go on to building the actual changer itself. Okay, today we're going to make the changer. Very simple operation. There's a lot of little things to do, but it's not complicated. All you need to do is buy yourself a nice piece of round bar, and you'll probably buy that in a meter length, but you only need 110 long by 8mm diameter. You have to cut a slot down the middle, down the center, into the center, no further but halfway through. You then connect a piece of stainless steel, which is 110 long by 2mm thick, probably by 35mm wide. So here you are, that's the first thing you will have to make. You can join it together with aerolite or a similar kind of glue, and that's the first thing you'll make. The next thing you'll make is the changer itself, the changer finger, and it's made of three parts. The first part we'll talk about is the round part on the top, which comes from a 22mm piece of round steel, 22 diameter. You will then need to work out the thickness that you need, because you're going to need 10 of these. So 10 of those with a string distance of 10mm is 100, and then you need to make a little bit extra room for the side plates, which we'll go to in a minute. So that means that's going to be about 8 or 9mm. So you'd have to work that out yourself, depending on what you're going to use, what distance the strings apart. So you make an 8mm hole through the middle of all 10. You work out then that you need washers between each one as well. So you will need to make 8mm holes through the middle on each one of them, and make sure if you can get as close to the center of the disc as you can. I use masking tape. I put masking tape on and just cut it off neatly all the way around. Then I can work out the center with a pencil, across the widest part there and there, and using a punch, one of these fellas, I'll make a dent right in the center like that and give it a whack with a hammer. You can then drill it and you'll get somewhere near where you want to be with it. If it's not perfect, once you've done all 10 rollers, discs, all you need to do is slide them on to a bit of 8mm round bar and just check that the top center at the top are all level right the way across, all 10. Once you've done that, you can stick them all together, then you can mark out and you can make the little Pac-Man mouths there. That's what I call a Pac-Man mouth, and that cuts right into the center of the bar and into the disc, and this eventually will slide onto this plate. Now you can also drill a hole very close to the edge, and this will make the string notch. Now at the back of that, to ensure that the string goes to the center of this disc when it's loaded on, just make a groove with a hacksaw through and into the notch. Don't go past the top end. If you go up into there, you'll get strings breaking, but if you can do it just behind, so that when this is actually working, it works like that, and then you won't break a string. So just cut a notch so it ends up in the center of the disc, and that will be basically the round part on the top. If you can flatten this disc on the bottom, you can then drill a hole with a 4mm tapping drill bit right through the center, up through there, and you can probably see it in the top there, but you just drill straight up through there. You put a thread in it, a 4mm thread. You can also then put a 4mm thread down in a hole that you drill in the center of this 7mm square bar, which is your tuner block. Okay, at the bottom end you can put a little 4mm hole all the way through, and this is to hold your pull bar. Okay, so you then get a piece of just normal 4mm rod, and if you hit it with the punch, you can hit it with a punch, and that's gonna make it nice and fat in the hole, and do the same that side. You've got a nice bit of movement in the middle like that, and then we're getting down to here is where you will put your raised tuner. Okay, now the raised tuner will look like this. What I do, I drill all the way through with the tapping drill bit to take the thread. Then I drill halfway through with a normal 4mm drill, so that I can actually go in, and you don't need all that much thread in there, so you can just put that in so far, and then it goes in there like that, and it comes out the other side. And this is how you will adjust your tuning when it comes up against the plate. Okay, so when it's going up against the plate, that's it. The holes that you need to drill here and here are for the pull rods. If you pull on this one, it will lower the string. If you pull on this one, it will raise the string, which this stop is for. Okay, this hole you'll need as a spring, tension spring, to connect this tension spring to the tension spring bar, which we'll look at in a minute. Right, okay, I think that's about that. Make 10 of these, and then we can then slip them onto there. Okay, I'll just do that now. We can see where we are. We don't need to put that on for a sec. Okay, so what we do now is we make up side plates. Now this is so that you can actually make, you can do all these things individually, but what I do is I make a changer in one piece, so you get a one piece changer. And if you change your mind about what kind of body you want, if you want to make it with a nice pretty hardwood, all you have to do is cut the hole out in the piece of hardwood and just drop this straight in, and you've got nothing else to make. It's just lovely, it really is. Okay, so that's your side plate. Now this needs to be as long as all your mechanisms together, so it all clears nicely. All these holes need to be threaded. These holes are to take your neutral bars. These two are to hold your spring bar, your spring tension bar, which we'll go into in a minute. So what I'll do is I'll put them together, I'll put it all together and see how we go from there. Okay, this is the other side plate, and this is the neutral bars I was telling you about. This is the neutral bars. Now on the neutral bars you'll need to make a 4mm thread, and so that the bars actually go right through about the thickness of the other side bar, so that once you've finished and you've got all your fingers on, you can then just screw it all together, and that's what holds it all together and makes it into one perfect job. Okay,